Field to Fork is a cooperative training program that helps show us what hunting means to today's demographic, especially urban minority and immigrant, all of which describe my new friend and hunting partner, Edwin Pierre Louise.
I'm from Haiti, in a small town called Saint Marc.
And you didn't grow up hunting in Haiti?
No, it's not something common in Haiti at all, but we do a little bit of fishing back home, but it's not like very common for even young kids to do that in Haiti. But when I often visit my grandparents in the countryside, some of the time I use some slingshots and then to play around the woods and then hunt some birds. It was pretty awesome. Slingshots, yeah. Yeah, that was like small birds.
Yeah. Did you eat them?
Yes, they are delicious. No, as a kid, those are the things that you are versed in and you learn how to cook using those kind of things as well.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But one thing I love about back home in Haiti, we mostly harvest all our meat fresh because we don't have the luxury of having electricity, power. But because of that, we tend to harvest our animal daily or go to the butcher or supermarket, get our fresh meat. That way we can eat fresh.
Yeah.
And as well as the same is true for vegetables and fruits. And then sometimes we pick them from the trees and ambulant merchant. And based on that, we get our things super fresh. So coming here in the United States, that was the first culture shock that I had when I moved to the United States. You know, go to the supermarket and realize you have to buy your meat frozen. And it's not skeptical, but I was like, wow, look at the luxury and that I missed back home. You know, coming to the United States,
And we would typically say we have the luxury because we can store our food, we can freeze
That's
it.
right.
And then, you know, it's both, right?
It's both. And then, you know.
But you can taste the difference, huh?
Oh, totally. And then again, that's one of the things as well. I say, when I first visit Georgia and I start learning about hunting here in Georgia, I say, I must learn to be able to do that. And I know I can go Googling things and go to YouTube, but I know just because I go to school here and I know one school at the University of Georgia, I said maybe they have some programs there too. I was venturing ways to find good food and I met those guys in the fresh market.
Because you want fresh food.
Fresh food.
Remind you of home.
That's right.
Yeah.
And then it was nice to meet those guys as well because they are locavores and this is exactly what I want. And I ended up learning how to harvest my fresh meat and be a great locavore so far.
Locavore?
Yes.
Wow. I don't think I've heard that term before. I like that.
Well, and even veggies.
You're not just an omnivore. Or carnivore. You're a locavore.
I'm a locavore, you know.
That's awesome.
Yes.
The Field to Fork program trains and equips first-time hunters who, like Edwin, go on to mentor new first-time hunters on weekend hunts in town. And it wasn't long before a deer walked right into our sights. Though we ventured into the woods at dusk, surrounded by nature and some spooky owls, we came home empty-handed, but ready to talk about the experience, especially after having to whisper silently for hours.
Oh, it was a good day, and I really enjoyed it.
I enjoyed watching you hunt.
Oh, well.
Actually, that's pretty good for me too. Like, I like just being out there. Like, that's a big part of it.
Yeah, that's one of the things that I enjoy the most out of.
Like, those owls started going off and repeating and like that was pretty great.
In the morning, when you go hunting, just like you'll wake up with nature itself.
Yeah.
You know, you can hear anything.
So we saw 5 deers at least earlier, but there was kind of a smaller one, and you were kind of waiting maybe for one of the bigger ones to come along, and you said you basically wanted to give that deer an opportunity to grow up bigger, to have more babies.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, he was pretty small.
It feels like you would get out there about every night if you could.
Oh yeah, if I could, I will sit down in the woods, and then I enjoy the outdoors.
So have you mentored anyone yet?
Yes,
Oh,
I mentor over a dozen of people already.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the past 2 years.
Awesome.
I'll take anybody out there.
Yeah.
And then, actually, last year, my first 2 deers, they were here, and then it's when I was mentoring 2 new Field of Fork students. And I said, okay, maybe I'll go hunt. And then I went, and I ended up harvesting my first deer.
Awesome.
Last year.
Very cool. All right, let's go eat. This video is inspired by our PBS series, Reconnecting Roots. Visit reconnectingroots.com to watch the full episodes or to check out our music and podcast. Give us a thumbs up and subscribe so we can keep making more. Thanks for watching.